Did we get our eyes on that? Could it end up in D's sleeve? Oh yes, stay here. Rick D's taking you this week all the way to number 1.
Stay here with you. You are a rainbow, so I am a lucky one. I am a lucky one. You are my favorite song. I am a lucky one. I am a lucky one. I am a lucky one. Same. Your love is constant. You've never lost it. Your voice is calling out my name. It makes me miss you, even when I'm with you. Oh, nobody wants to go it alone, and I just wanna stay here with you. So I am a lucky one. I am a lucky one. You are my favorite song. I am a lucky one. I am a lucky one. I am a lucky one. I am a lucky
A speedy welcome to the show for everyone. This is Saturday's After Weddings on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and it's Saturday, the 30th day of May 2026, currently 3 minutes past 11 p.m. And Saturday's After Weddings is that show where we talk about weddings, we talk about marriages, and everything that happens before, during, and after the wedding bell. So talk about the beauty of weddings, the celebrations, the glamour, the tradition, marriages, and also the real life conversations that come even after that big day. Because yes, the weddings are exciting. I mean, they're beautiful, the colors, the joy, the families coming together, the excitement, the memories being created. And these days, weddings are even becoming more creative, more stylish, and more talked about, And before we actually go in, it's Saturday, and like we said, Saturdays are for weddings. And I'm sure there's some people out there who are currently maybe on their way to get married. They're doing one or two things when it has to do with getting married today, with a wedding. So congratulations to everyone who is getting married today, or maybe even celebrating their anniversary, celebrating love, just anything at all you are doing. And I'm your host today on Saturdays for Weddings. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and Saturdays for Weddings, comes to your ears every Saturday at 11 a.m. So every Saturday, if you tune in right here with us on 98.5 Speed FM, we would be right in your ears, with more interesting topics. And just like saying about how interesting and then exciting weddings can be, but sometimes in all that excitement, one important part can get less attention, while everyone is thinking about the big day, what is happening today, the food, how everyone is dressed, how this couple look good together, different things like that. One important thing can get less attention, and that is the marriage itself. Because if we talk about just the wedding, or the celebrations, and then leave the marriage, which is the actual thing that we are actually preparing ourselves, the couple is actually preparing themselves to enter, then it becomes a problem. What happens after the wedding bells? When real life begins, that's marriage. That is actually when the real life begins. Because marriage is not just a celebration. It also comes with expectations, responsibilities, adjustments, and real conversations that couples have to face together. That is one part that cannot be escaped. While we talk about the weddings, we also talk about the marriage. Everything around and in between, everything about it has to be talked about. And that is why today, on Saturdays for weddings, we are focusing on something that has become a major conversation everywhere. And what is that? It's 50-50 in marriage. And I'm sure just getting to hear that focus, it already rings a bell. You've seen it somewhere. You've heard someone talking on social media. You've heard someone talking about 50-50, or you yourself have been talking about 50-50. Well, let us talk about that today. 50-50 in marriage. But before we go into that properly, let me just say this. This is not maybe an attack or anyone or any opinion. It's just a conversation, because if it's something that is happening, then it becomes a concern for us to actually talk about it. Different views, and we want to hear from you. Today we are talking about 50-50 in marriages. You have probably heard this term, many times, maybe even on social media, in conversations, just everywhere. So what is your take on 50-50 as a man, as a woman, and just anyone at all, whether married or not married? That is the aim, especially for those who are married, who are already in the marriage field. It's Saturdays for weddings. It's also that space where you get to maybe share your own opinions based on your experience, what you have actually seen in that marriage, so that maybe people who are planning to get married someday, or are just new into that field, they also get to hear from you. So today we are talking about 50-50 in marriage, as a man, as a woman. What is your opinion when it comes to 50-50 in marriage? And I'll call the phone line out for you. You can call in to be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. It's Saturdays for weddings on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm your host on the show this morning. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and we are talking about 50-50 in marriage. And what exactly is this 50-50 in marriage? Just in case, because some people might actually know what we're talking about, but they don't know that term. But that's the most popular term for it, right? Some people feel that both partners to actually contribute equally, especially when it comes to finances in a marriage. The man should contribute 50, half of the contribution, and then the woman should also be contributing, to the marriage when it comes to financially. That is one angle that people talk about 50-50 the most. Like the man pays 50%, the woman pays 50%, and makes up to that 50-50 that people talk about when it comes to marriage. They believe that if both people are working, and then both should actually contribute. Hello?
Yeah, good morning, Marysyntia.
Yes, good morning to you, Mr. Dennis here. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, the issue that this thing does not really hold water. The man is the head of the house.
Mm-hmm.
He brings a woman who goes as far as changing her own name and the children they are going to bear together.
Mm.
If you are lucky as a man to have a woman that can contribute, lucky you, and then you should be thanking God.
Mm-hmm.
In the Western world, this is done right from time, and then even in the event that the marriage is called off, there are benefits accruable to the woman. So you cannot, when we are practicing or even trying to import some of these things from the Western world, we should also look at how their own liabilities comes with. You shouldn't be looking at only the advantage. What about the disadvantage part of it? So I am not party to. It's not culture yet. Until we get to that level where, if it is, because sometimes if a marriage is called off, is a woman that is a loser because she's not going to give back her body the way she came into the marriage. Her value is already depreciated, and then she goes and suffer the consequence of this thing. So a man should be able to be responsible enough to think that it is his responsibility to start a family and then to own
Provide.
a family, provide. And that's why they call you a responsible married man, because you are supposed to lead while the woman follows. If you're lucky and you have an understanding spouse who also from time to time comes in to assist, well, there's nothing wrong with that, you understand, but the men should not assume that right, that they should be able to share responsibility 50-50.
Okay. All right.
So it's better if you understand that it is your responsibility, and then of course, some spouses are very understanding. When they see you struggling, they know that things are difficult. If they have somewhere, they bring it in. But if you come in with the mindset that it is supposed to be 50-50, I don't see where you're going with that marriage.
Okay.
In Nigeria, in Nigeria,
Okay.
elsewhere it's happening, but here it's not like that. It's not part of our own way of life.
All
Thank
right.
you. That's my own contribution.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Dennis Sharif.
People who are lucky to have such women should not go. But if you come with the mindset that you want it that way, you will be disappointed.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling in to be part of the show this morning. This is Saturday's for Weddings on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And I'm your host on the show this morning. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior. And what are we talking about today? 50-50 in marriage. 50-50. Let the woman bring 50% pass when it comes to finances. The money, let her be bringing 50%. I'll also bring 50%. What is your opinion? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Ochala Victor. I'm calling from Uni Agric.
All right, welcome to the show.
Makodi. Yeah, thank you. On this topic, I don't think it's something we can just come and conclude that people will just start thinking they should share 50-50 by the ladies. Yeah, the man should take the full responsibility, but also we should know that some couple, when they got married, is the woman that maybe will be working by then.
Okay.
So it's dependent on the couple and how they want their affairs to be run in the family. Okay. So it's possible that the man couldn't provide much for the family at the moment. So in that aspect, you can't say it's 50-50. If they have an understandable relationship and they know how to go by the way things should be done in the family. But when both parties are fully responsible, okay, the man should take the full responsibility. Maybe I'm not sharing for them, but they know how to do their things, okay, so that they will not have to raise their children in a way that they will have to know more of God. It's only in the Western world that we look at that 50-50 like what the first caller was saying. But the man should take full responsibility as he is getting married or as he has become the man in the house. Yes, so that is what I want to say.
All right, thank you so much, Victor, for calling in to be part of the show this morning. This is Saturday's for Weddings on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And my name is Marysyntia Hangeior. With you on the show this morning, we are talking about 50-50 in marriage. 50-50 in marriages. What is your take? And so far, the men who have called, everyone is talking about, okay, that is not something that is acceptable. It's not a right. It's okay for a woman to support. But these days, to be honest, if we want to be honest with ourselves, it will go out there, even in conversations. Real life conversations, because some people will say, it's just online. It's not just online. Even in real life conversations, we hear maybe men even talking about, what do you bring? That question, what do you bring to the table? What are you actually doing? You're not doing anything, and you're just there, or just assuming that taking care of the home alone is not responsibility enough, or maybe even birthing children, even looking after the man. Because when people are getting married, they say, I need someone that is going to take care of me. Someone that is coming to take care of you, somebody that is coming to take care of the children, take care of the entire home, this and that, for everybody, no matter the number, even extended families that's expected to maybe attend to their needs, different things like that. But still, why is it that when it comes to those choices, not 50-50, but the money is 50-50? Hello?
Hello, asking radio.
Yes, hello, good morning.
Good morning. I'm Jerry calling from the North.
Okay, Jerry, could you speak up louder? We cannot get you.
You say?
Could you speak up louder? We can hardly hear you.
Okay, are you hearing me now?
Yes, go on.
Okay. You see, this marriage thing, we are talking as if we Africans, we don't have a tradition in marriage. The topic should not be solely looking at marriages in the cities where men work in government places and women work in government places.
Jerry, maybe you have to call us back.
Original.
Hello?
Village settings.
Maybe you have to call us back, Jerry, because the quality coming from there, it's very bad. So maybe try to call us back again. And the number for you to call is 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. Jerry, you can call us back, and maybe we'll be able to get you clearly when you call us again. And everyone, call in to be part of this conversation, because this 50-50 talk, it came from somewhere. And it's even getting more popular these days, that it's only, people even say it's only someone that is lazy that doesn't want to hear maybe a woman that is lazy that doesn't want to hear this 50-50 conversation. But that back then, it was more like that traditional mentality. The man is the provider, the protector, everything when it comes to providing anything that has to do with those finances. And then she in turn is taking care of the home, is taking care of him with those resources that he is providing. But these days it's more like people are expecting, yes, you take care of me, you take care of the home, and still bring 50% of what you're getting. So what are you doing? Does it now mean, okay, the 50-50 should go in the places of those chores, and then taking care of the home, taking care of even your own family, extended families like that? Should it also be that same 50-50? If people talk about, okay, it should actually be 50-50, because we see it where some men just assume that, okay, it's an easy work to just maybe take care of home or try to even raise children. Because if you talk about raising a child, to be honest, most of the time we find the woman more present, like when it comes to attending to quick needs, when it comes to what they are going to eat, when it comes to making sure that everyone is clean, everyone is But then it's becoming a case where people actually look at that like it's just laziness, and then what are you still bringing to the table? Birthing a child alone is not enough. What do you bring to the table? So let us hear from you this morning on Saturdays are for Weddings on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And the number for you to call is 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. We are talking about 50-50 in marriage. What is your take? What is your opinion? As a man, as a woman, let us hear what you think, because it's something that has gone that far. And if you can also reach us, live on Facebook at Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. Hello.
Yeah, Asking.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Are you hearing me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Is this Jerry?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Welcome back to the show.
Yes, I was taking us back to traditional settings. When a man is set out to go and get a woman to marry, he looks for a hard-working woman. And the family of that woman too want to give their daughter to a hard-working man. We are not talking about this government, whatever settings. So in the village, when you are hardworking on your farm, your wife supports you on the farm. That is where our own 50-50 is. Your wife supports you on the farm. When you go to dig, she weed. She do the lesser, those ones that belong to the woman. That is what we know. So this issue of, say, your wife is working, then if it's the banking, the city setting, if you get married to a man and the man is in business, you just key into the business with him. That is your contribution. If the woman is also doing a business and the man look at the business is lucrative, key into the business and support her. That is where the 50-50 is. We should not be talking about money value and all this and all that. Is whoever you marry, if you marry a man, the man is doing a business, key into the business as a woman, support him. You have contributed your 50-50.
Okay.
Just like we do in the village setting. You are on the farm. You went to farm, your wife came to give you food. You see, that's how we do. Then when she give you food, she now weed. Where it is weeding, she pack firewood, come home and cook. She's contributing honestly. So even in the city, we should not be talking about money value to all these things. That's why we will fail. The 50-50 should be that this is what my husband is doing. Let me join in supporting him, even if I don't have anything. If I marry a woman and the woman is doing a kind of a good business, I will key into that business and do whatever I can do to make the business grow or whatever. That is why two people are coming together. Yeah.
All right.
So thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Jerry, for calling in to be part of the show this morning. This is Saturday for Weddings on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and today on Saturdays for Weddings, we are talking about 50-50 in marriages. It has become so popular that people talk about it, and they will even shame people that are not even believing in it. That what do you mean? It's, it actually gets to a point where even when it comes to people are just courting, it's just the dating phase, and they're telling you, I'm the one that is inviting you over to go out for a date, but when you come with half of the money you're going to pay. You're the one who is interested, you're the one who is trying to get to know that person, but then she should come with her own bill. It gets, when I see those ones, it's actually funny because it's actually at that stage where people will try to know if there is something they will agree with. But then when it comes to marriage itself, which is the most important one, what is your opinion on this 50-50? It has become so popular. People talk about it and say, hey, what are you bringing to the table? Well, I'm the one who is going out to work. I'm the one who is going out to, for somebody that is not sleeping at home. And so for somebody that is taking the home, but you hear things like, I'm the one that is going out to do this one. I am bringing the money. What do you have to pay? Does it mean that, this other contributions do not amount to the 50? It has to be that financial. So should it not be a case where the wife brings the 50 when it comes to finances, and the man should also do the 50 when it comes to the chores, when it comes to taking care of the home, taking care of extended family, when it comes to taking care of children? Will they also birth the children, things like that? So let us really get your take when it comes to 50-50, just your opinion, not an attack on anyone. I keep repeating this because some persons tend to get offended when things like this are mentioned, but then it's things that we should talk about. So because slowly should we say they are taking over, and then it's becoming something that's even normalized. Someone will tell you, I'm looking for a traditional woman to marry. I want to go back to the way that our mothers used to be. Are you a traditional man yourself, or you're expecting a traditional woman with a touch of 50, when it comes to finances, when it comes to, because some things like this, people just think maybe it's not that important, but it goes as far as even affecting the home. And we also want to hear how that actually affects when you think, do you think there are any good sides to it when it comes to 50-50 in marriages? And then what would you say are those bad effects when we talk about 50-50 in marriages? Number for you to call is 09036485868. That is 09036485868. This is Saturdays for Weddings on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm your host on the show this morning. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and we are talking about 50-50 in marriage. What is your opinion? As a man, as a woman, it's not limited to the men alone. As a woman also, What is your take on 50-50 in marriage? When people talk about 50-50, when it comes to contribution, financially providing, then what is your own take? Let us get from you. And so far, we heard from Sir Dennis Sharif, and he says the man is the head of the house, and the lady is the one who goes as far as even changing her name, contributing her own part of the 50 by even changing that name to follow you and take your leadership, listen to whatever you're going to tell her, leaves her own place to come and be there with you and take care of the home. Hello. All right, you can still call in to be part of the show, and the number for you to call is 09036485868. That is 09036485868. And we are also streaming live on Facebook at Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi, so you can watch live from there and also leave a comment if you have something to say. We're talking about 50-50 in marriage because it has become so popular, and that is something we should talk about. The more they talk about it, it's now starting to look like maybe some persons are lazy because you bring it out and then someone just asks a question like, hello. All right, keep trying to call in and maybe you will catch up with us. And then on what Mr. Dennis Sharif said about not being in support when it comes to that 50-50. That is his own take. He is not in support, and it's not our culture. And he speaks about it maybe because of people are leaning too much when it comes to Western, looking. Sometimes maybe even the movies or people have started spending more time outside and then trying to bring that here while still expecting the other party to remain the traditional woman. For example, you have gone out, you have seen, okay, women, some of the women they are supporting 50-50. You come back with that mindset, but then you're expecting the woman to still remain that traditional woman that right? So like I mentioned, it's not an attack on anyone. Let's just get your opinion. When it comes to 50-50 in marriage, what do you think? Number for you to call is 09036485868. That is 09036485868. And we also heard from Victor, and he believes that the man should take the full responsibility and she can support. Dennis also said that like she can support if she wants to. And Victor was saying, hello. All right, keep trying to call, and maybe you just catch up with us. And the number remains 09036485868. That is 09036485868. Saturdays are for weddings, and today it's on 50-50 in marriages. What do you think? Victor says the man should take the full responsibility. She can support if she wants to, like if she has what it takes. Hello. Yes, good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. What is your name?
My name is Grace.
Your name is who?
Tengwa Edu Grace.
Okay, welcome to the show. Where are you calling from?
Thank you. I'm calling from Tewasa Agbadu.
All right, so what is your take on 50-50 in marriage? Hello. All right, this is Saturday's for Weddings on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and this morning we are talking about 50-50 in marriage. This 50-50 that has become something that a lot of people talk about. When they're even looking for a wife these days, they're looking for who is willing to. Hello. They're looking for who is willing. Is this person going to be willing to go 50-50? Hello. Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, tell us your name and where you're calling from. Okay, we cannot hear you, but maybe you try to call us back again to be part of the show. And it's 09036485868. That's 09036485868. 50-50 in marriage. What is your take? How do you think that actually affects the home? Hello? How do you think that actually affects the home, whether in a good way or in a bad way? Because it's become something that is most talked about when it comes to marriage. And some people might not even directly say it's like, okay, it's 50-50, but they still ask those questions. They are still expecting it to be that way. Hello?
Yes, we are calling from.
They'll still expect it to be that way, or say it with other terms like, oh, you should actually be bringing something to the table. Or people even try to look down on some of the things that maybe people could the women will categorize as the contribution. Like, how can you say, is that the only thing you're going to contribute? How does that one help me? So let us really get your take. And Victor says she can support, and he believes that it has to do with maybe people trying so hard to copy some of the things from Western cultures without, they're not copying everything in full. They're just getting some of it and trying to maybe use it to their own advantage. Like, okay, let's do this 50-50, but I still want you to remain that traditional woman, that traditional man, the way it is, but then for my own advantage, let the 50-50 go. And we also heard from Jerry, who mentioned he compared it back to the VH. When you talk about 50-50, it was about support, not like the money, bring this one and I'll bring this one, we are going to we equally have to do this and then bring it together. He mentioned that when it comes to farm, she was just there to be supporting. I'm in the farm, I am doing the hard work, you are supporting, because at the end of the day you still have maybe to go back home and then try to maybe take care of the kids, take care of something that even the man will still come back and then eat. But then even when it comes to city life, how things have gone these days, he believes that 50-50 should be about support, not about maybe how we are able to share these finances, how much you are bringing, what do you bring to the table, simply because the money is not, since it's not money, then does it mean that she is not bringing anything to the table? So this is Saturday for Weddings on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm your host on the show this morning. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior. We are talking about 50-50 in marriage. You also can call in to be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. Let us hear what you think. 50-50 in marriage. If you're someone, it's possible, because sometimes when people talk down on something, there could be someone, one person there who is in it and say, okay, this is what I see, or this is why I have chosen this direction. If that is you, and it's the direction that you have actually chosen, you can still tell us about it, because the point is to actually know. Hello?
Good morning, ma'am.
The point is to actually know. We cannot hear you. Maybe try to call us back. The point is to actually know and understand some of these things, because every day we have, today is Saturday, if you look around, there are going to be a lot of persons maybe that are getting married, people who, or maybe newlyweds, and some of these things. So these are like crucial things that people maybe need opinions. Sometimes when you hear from someone else's experience or what someone else has to say, not to say that you're going to maybe directly carry that and then apply it to your own life or to your own marriage, like it in its entirety, but then you are able to have an idea, okay, this is what this person faced, so there are chances of me also facing this since I am on the same line. So you can keep your calls coming through, and the number for you to call is 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. Call in and let us hear from you this morning on Saturdays for Weddings on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and some people feel that both partners should contribute equally, because especially when it comes to finances, because they believe that if both people are working, they both should also contribute to running the home, right? Meaning each person is contributing to the marriage. Some men feel that women should also contribute financially instead of depending fully on the man. And on the other side, hello?
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Moses here from New Jersey.
All right, welcome to the show, Mr. Moses.
Thank you very much. I have a question, but I will tell you again. What if you marry, have a wife? It's not following you to the farm. She's not providing anything to the house. She's not contributing anything, but depends she remain in the house to consume. What are you going to do about that?
That is
She's not
actually
contributing anything. Not even 50-50 she's expecting. She stands for. She's there remaining for you to feed her, clothe her, or pay her hospital bill. What is the situation? That kind of situation, how can man handle that kind of wife?
okay. And is that all you will have to say, or do you want to stay on the line and then add something else?
No, actually, man, there's no need for 50-50 in marriage.
Okay.
50-50 in marriage. If you marry a wife, she decides to help you, fine. If she don't decide to help you bear the consequence, because you carry the load of landlord. You are the father of the house. You are the one who look for a wife to marry. Good luck to you if you marry a woman that is helping you. But if you marry a warrior or the one that is disturbing you, well, that is what God has given to you. You take it.
Okay.
Some of them, they worry the husband. They don't allow husband to exercise. They don't allow you to enjoy yourself. Well, sometimes they will see your car key. If you are going out, we go together. Fine, come, let's go. They will not. No, you are going to play to look for women outside. Then go. Remain in the house and do what? You are a man. You can go out, still sit with friends, come back. Woman remain in the house. She will not help you. In fact, your mind will be divided. I look for a second.
Oh, we are finding it difficult to get you. Clearly, it's breaking, but you can still call back to join in and be part of the show. This is Saturdays for Weddings on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm your host this morning. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and we are talking about 50-50 in marriage. You can still call in to be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. What is your take? 50-50 in marriage. And this time around, also come and tell us how you think it actually affects the home, because that is conversation that is on so many people's mouth these days. It's all talking about 50-50. What do you bring to the table? No one can say they have not heard that statement before about what you brought to the table. So, and let us hear from you still. Hello.
Yeah, asking this me again.
Okay, welcome back to the show, Jerry, right?
Yeah. You see, I am just worried when I hear 50-50. I am beginning to think about what really is even marriage between a man and a woman. What do the two of them stand to gain in a marriage? And I think, like you are now, you have a mother. If you get married, you are talking about taking care of your mother. Your mother left a particular place before she became in that place she is today. You are calling your maternal home. So in marriage, a woman is going there to build her home. Without a woman, there will be no home. Just the woman alone and the man alone is just a house. But when the woman comes in, it is now a home. She's coming to build her own home. Her husband is her home. So we are not talking about 50-50. You have to contribute all you have to build your home. That is where you are going to remain. That is where they are going to bury you. That is where you born your sibling. That is where a woman becomes what do you call first lady. You cannot be first lady in your parents' home. That is your home. So no, even a mad woman cannot put fire on her home. So if that place you are going is really where you are building your home, you are going to contribute everything. The man too, that is where his name is, the legacy of his name. So if he dies, that is where they will come and recognize that this is where the man built. It is based on his wife and his children. So he is supposed to contribute all. I don't think in a relationship anybody has any other thing that he or she is doing. If really we are taking marriage as an institution ordained by God. It's not about 50-50. It's contributing all, because that is your home.
Okay, all right.
I don't understand what we think about marriage when we talk about 50-50. The other 50, what is she trying to do with the other 50? Where? What? Because your mother, your parent too left their own places to build their own. You have to build your own home.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much for calling in to be part of the show once again, Jerry. This is Saturday's for Weddings on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior. We are talking about 50-50 in marriage. You can call in to be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. Let us hear what you think, how it actually affects the home. People have been mentioning things about, okay, how it's going to affect, So let us keep getting from you. If you think that it's only the good side, you can still say that, because if it's getting popular and it's becoming something of interest to many people, there must be something about it, right? So let us hear you. This question of what do you bring to the table? What is it actually about? What is she supposed to bring to the table, apart from what she is already bringing to the table that is not being recognized? So let us hear you as a man, let us hear you as a woman, and then while we are waiting for the calls, that will give me time to talk about what that was Moses earlier talking about, maybe a woman who doesn't contribute anything at all, and then even the 50 would not contribute. In that case, like, why wouldn't a man maybe be expecting her to at least contribute financially when it comes to the home? Now, I would say that is actually a different angle entirely, because apart from maybe marriages and then what is supposed to be, there are still people who are going to maybe people with different personalities. It's just like a school. Everyone knows that we are coming to a school to learn, but there is also one person who will still refuse to learn. So that is more like a personality thing, or maybe what someone has decided for whatever reason that they have to do, right? Because we are discussing today the idea of 50-50 in marriage, where both partners are contributing financially, especially financially, 50-50. Because most people started talking about that, these days, if you go online, even in real life conversations. But what we are bringing up now, what he actually brought up now, is a situation where one partner is not contributing at all, not even when it comes to doing her own part in the home. But then what we are actually speaking about when it comes to 50-50, she's already doing that part in the home, taking care of you, taking care of the children, the extended family, the home, doing her own part, raising those children and still going through with them. But then she is still expected to pay 50% when it comes to finances, when it comes to things about the home. So we are talking about imbalance when it comes to that contribution, and then reasons behind it, so for today's topic, let's stay on the general question. In a situation where both partners, are each supposed to do their own part, but then one person is supposed to still bring 50 again, should it now be that even the man should contribute 50 when it comes to the things that she also does? Well, keep your calls coming through, and the number for you to call is 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. It's Saturdays for Weddings on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior. You can call in and be part of this conversation and tell us what you think, or you can watch live on Facebook at Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makede and leave a comment there with your ideas, with your opinion on 50-50 in marriage. And we heard from Jerry once again, and he says, without a woman, there is no home. So she is coming to build a home. And he even believes that this idea of 50-50 that people made up, he believes that everyone should come with their all. You are coming like, this is your responsibility as a woman, and you should give it your all. And the man, whose responsibility, is to provide, protect. You know how it says, even when it comes to the Bible, if you open the Bible, and when it comes to that, you still find there for people who believe in that, it should be that way, and not that this person is saying, oh, I am not going to bring all as the man, and then the woman is saying, oh, even on my own part, I am not supposed to maybe do all of this. Because when that mix up comes, we keep losing the values, the culture is going, and then it seems like maybe some persons become even selfish. So keep your opinions coming, and the number for you to call is 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. People have been talking about how it's an imbalance. Most people actually, how it's an imbalance when it's 50-50. And it should just be a case of, if she is willing, if she has that to maybe support, then she should be doing that, and not like a requirement or like a right that this is what it is. But it's now used as something of shame, to be honest. Like, people even look at it, what are you bringing? Like, it's a shame. You just sit there and you're not doing anything. And so does it mean that what she's already doing doesn't count as anything? It has to be that money, and then contributing 50% of that money, that is actually something. And I'll keep reminding, because some persons tend to get offended even in real life conversations, when we talk about things like this, or feel attacked. It is not an attack. It is not an attack on anyone at all. It is just trying to understand the situation and how far we have come, losing our cultures, the things that we hold traditionally, and how maybe selfish some persons might be leaning to, or feeling like, okay, and not considering the other party at all. So keep your calls coming through. It's 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. Call in and let us hear your final take. Before we go, we are talking about 50-50 when it comes to marriage. In a marriage, what is your take? And what would you say is actually better to be doing? Most people have actually mentioned that. Jerry especially said that he believes that it's supposed to be bringing your own, or sticking to the values, that sticking to the responsibility. And he mentioned something about a responsible man, because that is the person that is providing. Hello. All right, you can still call back to be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 090-3648-5868. That's 090-3648-5868. And from today's conversation, questions that I feel people should actually take back. Is a 50-50 only about the money? Because that is where people are so quick to call another person lazy once it comes to the finances. Does it apply to the house chores as well? Because is that one now free work, or maybe is she then okay, if it's like 50-50, so help someone understand, should it now be that she's paid for that? Because I believe that no one stood up from their house and then just started coming to maybe do a free work, and then at the end of the day are still supposed to, someone would rather take care of themselves than maybe to go and do the work for another person. Help someone understand. Those are questions that we should actually take home, because it's something that is getting so popular. People are getting even obsessed with about 50-50. The 50-50 talks are everywhere. They're getting so popular. Does it also apply to responsibility, childcare, and house chores? Because is it just the money? And if it's just the money, it's more like the provider says you have to bring 50%, but the person who is being provided for, then on her own side cannot request the 50%, that okay, you also contribute 50% and then take care of part of those things while I also contribute this way. So those are questions we can actually take back from this topic when we find things in society, especially in this part of the world that we are. The better thing is to talk about it, because some persons believe that okay, when you're talking about something like this, well, we shouldn't even talk about it. But if you find something that maybe seems like an issue, then the best solution is actually to talk about it, right? And that is it for Saturdays for weddings. Today we have been talking about 50-50 in marriage. Is this something that should be strict, maybe even flexible? Different people's opinions. And should marriage be about that equal division? Then is it actually fair if people are calling that equal division? Because at the end of the day, every home is different, right? But then, are we actually thinking about those decisions before we make it? Or is it just like a selfish thing where I am only thinking about myself and my partner is also only thinking about himself? And I've been with you on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior. Coming up next, at 1 p.m. is Speedy Kids right here on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And until then, keep enjoying music of your life and join us again on Saturdays for weddings with more interesting topics on Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. Keep enjoying music of your life. And don't forget to remember to keep listening to Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM.
Hello, my Cudi. Asking Radio.